Oh, it's not we're recording now. Check it out. I said I was gonna do the Arcade Empire video next, but I seen this video first. It's called When Trash Talkers Face Their Demise in Combat Sports. Seen a lot of these. Rolly Romero. Oh, who else? It's a lot of people. A lot of people that need their ass whooped.
And collect your paychecks for a few hours of work, helping me in your spare time from home.
I gotta be good.
Trash talking is a great way to go viral. The problem is you might not go viral for the right reasons. And for today's video, we're going to take a look at just how badly things can go for these ill-advised attempts at stealing the spotlight.
No, not at all. I hope it takes 3 hours. I will fucking stand in there for hours with him. I'm in no rush. So I will, as long as it takes, as quick as it may be, that's nothing. I'm in my element. I've prepared for this moment, and I'm not fucking rushing it.
Yeah. That man said he ain't in no rush. Your opponent gonna goddamn knock your ass into rush. Goddamn it. What are you talking about?
To kick things off, we've got a fighter you'll know from one of his rather disastrous trash-talking moments. James Gallagher was a teenager training in the same camp as Conor McGregor during the peak years of his rise. So it's only natural that the dude would be a huge fan of his fellow Irishman. But to say that Gallagher took his Conor impression a bit too far would be putting it lightly. We first saw it all fall apart for James when he got sidekicked in the face by Ricky Bandejas. That didn't stop him from doubling down on his trash talk, though, when he made his return. And after going on a streak of solid victories, Gallagher came into his fight with the highly touted Patchy Mix with a boatload of confidence.
See you Friday night. Like this here, and he was all, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I was like, you'll see him Friday night what I'm fucking gonna do. I smash your head in. And he's like, you're too small. And I was like, you'll see.
The problem? Well, Mix is one of the best bantamweights in the world in any organization. And Gallagher's cockiness pre-fight just seemed a little ill-advised.
It's the Jimmy Show, and even as he said himself, he wants to be a part of the Jimmy Show. You know what I mean? And that's what he is. He's a small part of the Jimmy Show.
He did the whole McGregor thing of trying to make his opponent out to be overly emotional, while he himself was cool, calm, and collected.
He starts tweeting about all his emotions. I'm up at 4 a.m. running off my emotions, doing all this, so then I call him out in it. Do you know what I mean? I was like, you're emotional 4 weeks out, getting all that energy. I was like, well, I'm sorry to tell you, mate, you should be in sleeping, recovering, getting fit, getting healthy. Not up in the middle of the night running off because you've got a bit of anxiety because you're coming to fight. So I called him out on Twitter, and now every post he puts up since is cool, calm, and collected.
But in the end, most fans had already seen Gallagher at his worst. And so his attempts at talk came off as a little weak. And while it wouldn't be the viral embarrassment that he'd had against Ricky Bandejas, because good luck topping that one, Gallagher was once again shown to be out of his depth when it came to taking a step into the bantamweight top tier. On fight night, this wasn't a completely dominant performance from Mix, but he definitely had the largest portion of success through the opening 2 rounds. And after realizing that he was clearly done on the scorecards, Gallagher turned up the heat in round 3 and got himself caught.
Neck could have been broke if he would have tapped out. All that trash talk get your ass whooped.
In a tight guillotine choke.
He's been the guillotine.
And despite submissions being his own specialty, James tapped out for his first loss by way of submission.
See, James Gallagher. He's rolling over. That is on.
This one didn't age too badly due to Patchy Mix going to become champion, but this was a well-deserved slice of humble pie nonetheless.
Hi, Powerade. My name is Carly. We're in sunny Florida. We are
I could
delivering
check
a cute
like the
little puppy to a
OnlyFans
very
logo.
cute little girl. Here.
OnlyFans mode.
And a car. Bills I gotta pay. And you come here and think you can beat me. Huh? Think you can beat me, boy. You cannot beat me. You cannot put me here in my town.
Marco Antonio Barrera is a fighter who knows a thing or two about dealing with a very vocal and disrespectful trash talker. He, of course, was the man to bring the extremely cocky but undeniably gifted Prince Naseem Hamed back down to earth after his unbeaten career. And when he took on Kennedy McKinney, he found himself in there with a similarly minded fighter, a guy who was more than willing to do everything in his power to get in his head pre-fight. At their press conference, Kinney turned up the aggression to 10s across the board, despite the fact that Barrera clearly didn't understand most of what McKinney was saying to him.
Come here and think you can beat me. Huh? Think you can beat me, boy. You cannot beat me. You cannot put me here in my town.
Got his ass popping in the ears.
But the tone of his voice was enough to provoke a rise out of him. And the next thing he knew, Barrera had several men between himself and his rival, doing their utmost to prevent an all-out brawl. Were McKinney's tactics working? Or would all this be settled through technical skill alone on fight night? Well, let's not forget just how good Marco Antonio Barrera was. This guy was built to withstand this type of pressure. And believe me, that talent came to the surface in a big way when it mattered most.
That was a hard knockdown as Barrera comes forward, try to finish McKinney off, and McKinney is down again. Gets up, big combinations by Barrera and McKinney, not punching back this time. He legitimately goes down, second knockdown of the round.
Hellacious combination punching was the name of the game for Barrera, and once he realized how close he was to finish, he opened up a major beating on his opponent.
Body shot hurt McKinney bad.
Barrera knows it. Follows up with a barrage.
Mixing shots upstairs with big punches to the midsection, scoring multiple knockdowns before the referee had seen enough.
McKinney is a weak fighter now. Barrera knows it.
And that's it.
A fitting end to a great prize fight.
Great fight, son.
Kennedy McKinney had failed to get desired reaction. In fact, like Naseem Hamed, he probably only succeeded in making Barrera more motivated to put a beating on him, more motivated to punish him for his actions pre-fight. Funny how that works, huh?
Only thing I'll say, he wouldn't think much of your opponent either.
Well, he ain't got to. He was undefeated. It's better than his opponent. My opponent ain't had no loss in his record. He just got one. What's up, Tarver? Matter of fact, I might fight Antonio Tarver next time. He deserves a shot quicker.
Because he's standing 9 feet away over there, right?
That's right. I'll fight.
Antonio Tarver's an awfully big light heavyweight.
I don't give a damn. That was a big one I fought. I don't give a damn.
Peak Roy Jones Jr. was a real joy to behold in the sport of boxing. Confident as they come, and blessed with an insane level of athleticism and reflexes, this dude's prime was an unmissable spectacle. But despite him never losing his sharp tongue after going up in weight to win heavyweight gold in 2003, Jones' return to a more natural division saw him lose a step or two. It was almost like the weight he added on messed with his natural speed. And in Antonio Tarver, he had the perfect opponent to truly bring him back down to earth. Jones' call-out.
Antonio Tarver want nothing to play with. Yeah, like he might have had a disability, but that nigga could fight. He'll whoop your ass.
Out of Tarver was just as animated as you might expect. But little did he know that this guy would be the rival who comprehensively brought his prime years to their end.
Well, he ain't got to. He was undefeated. It's better than his opponent. My opponent ain't had no loss in his record. He just got one. What's up, Tarver? Matter of fact, I might fight Antonio Tarver next time. He deserves a shot quicker.
Because he's standing 9 feet away over there, right?
That's right. I'll fight.
Jones was as bravado-filled and cocky as ever when he called out Tarver. And though he did manage to edge a decision over him the first time, their rematch was not as successful for this once great talent. Not even close. Age and miles on the tank were finally catching up with Jones, and Antonio Tarver was about to send a real message that would make Roy's early confidence look totally misplaced. It took Tarver just 2 rounds to figure out his opponent's timing. Gone were the insane reflexes that made trying to tag Jones a potential death sentence.
It's interesting. I'm watching Tarver. He seems to still be giving Roy problems. Roy has not found a way still to get a sustained attack against him.
And down goes Jones on a hard left hand, and that is the first.
That cocky trash talk. Look at you. Now your head underneath the rope. Underneath the bottom rope at that. Like, your ass got knocked the fuck out.
No, this version of Roy was far more hittable. And when Tarver landed a huge shot in round 2, it sent the champion to the canvas with one violent motion. There was no getting up from that one. And with that, Tarver was declared the winner.
This is the first time Roy Jones has been hammered by a power punch, and it's cost him
Look at him. He can't even stand his balance.
a fight.
Jones would never truly rebound from this loss, or at least he wouldn't reach anything close to the heights that he once had.
I ain't gonna do nothing. Don't worry about it. All of that is for Saturday night. I'm gonna be on your ass. I'm gonna be on your ass, boy. I'm gonna be on your ass.
He keep doing is saying the same shit. Like, I'm gonna be on your ass, boy. I'm gonna be on your ass. And Deontay Wilder just looking at him like, bro, you must be dumb out your mind, folks. Like, bro, look how he's standing, bro. He just look like he nervous.
Pull all that front. But Saturday, November 4th, I promise you, to God, I will be 2-time heavyweight champion of the world. And none of these gonna stop me. None of y'all gonna stop me. I promise you that.
Right.
Promise you.
All right.
You can smile all you want, boy. You won't be smiling because I'm seeing you packing home without and I'm gonna take that box too and put it in the garbage for you.
When you're dealing with a fighter, Deontay Wilder, who hits with the intensity of a sledgehammer, you better not give him some added motivation to take your head clean off. But for Berman Stavern, to his credit, he was actually the first fighter, and to this day, the only fighter, to lose to Wilder and not get KO'd. This means that every other fighter the Bronze Bomber beat ended up getting knocked out.
Hammer, and here in round 1, he is Ragnar-rocking Stavern!
He's out cold.
Stavern took that confidence into their rematch, feeling certain he could stand up to the most powerful fighter in the sport, and that if he could do it once, he could do it again. And after losing the belt to Wilder the first time around, Stavern seemed intent on bringing as much bravado as possible for the second fight, hoping that maybe, just maybe, he could make enough doubt to linger in Wilder's mind that he could make an almighty difference to his fortunes this time around.
Stiff jab by Wilder now. Thus far, Stavern hasn't shown the work rate. He's in it, and Stavern goes down!
Deontay seemed totally indifferent to Stavern's posturing and just let him dig himself a hole with his trash talk. Because Wilder, though not the most technical fighter in the world, had certainly improved since the first time they met. And he was about to make an almighty statement about where his career was headed relative to Stavern's.
I decided to talk, and tomorrow I'm gonna deliver what I told you. I'm gonna knock his ass out. I promise you that. Because I ain't scared of you. You can dance. I'm gonna make you dance tomorrow night. I'm gonna make you dance tomorrow night. I'm gonna crack your ribs. I'm gonna crack your jaw. I'm gonna send you home packing, and you will retire.
This time it didn't take Wilder long to figure things out. After Stavern lasted the entire 12 rounds for their first fight, he must have been incredibly shocked when Wilder managed to put him down in round 1. Deontay didn't take too kindly to being unable to score the KO first time around, and when it came to this rematch, he made damn sure that they just weren't called upon.
Wilder's right hand is Thor's hammer, and here in round 1, he is Ragnar-rocking Stavern! Ragnar-rocker's right hand is Thor's hammer, and here in round 1, he is Ragnar-rocking Stavern!
Look at good buddy. Knees is to his back. That's why you don't talk shit, bro. This is why when you do your little press conferences, mind your business until the fight happens. Because you might end up like this. You might end up in like, what is that? A scorpion?
The ultimate revenge story on a guy in Stavern who almost took a moral victory from a decision loss, which of course was a big mistake.
And let's not forget, I have the one thing that he doesn't have, and that's a punch that can switch lights off within the blink of an eye. Just one wrong step, one wrong maneuver, and it's over.
One of the worst things you can do after criticizing your opponent's lack of KO power is go in there on fight night and get KO'd. But nobody seemed to tell Tony Bellew that this was a bad idea. And so when he took on the great Alexander Usyk at cruiserweight, one of the focal points of his trash talk was to take shots at Usyk's supposed lack of punching power.
Is something in the air again as Tony Usyk prove his complete authority cruiserweight.
Bellew, in his own words, had an advantage coming into this one because he had a one-hitter quitter punch in his arsenal. Whereas if Usyk was to win, he would likely draw the contest out to its 12-round duration. Bellew was pretty certain of this, while Usyk looked nothing short of amused by his opponent's overconfidence.
So, that's a good right hand there from Tony Bellew. That's what he's looking for. That right there. Big shot from Tony Bellew. And Usyk. Well, Tony Bellew knew that he landed that right hand there.
Little did we know just how far Usyk would eventually take his career, rising beyond the cruiserweight ranks to put together a very impressive run of form as a heavyweight. And though Bellew has also tested himself up there, only one of these men was truly seen as the elite of the elite. And Tony's pre-fight prediction was going to come back and bite him in front of the entire boxing world. I think most of you have already guessed how this one's going to play out. So let's just get to it. Surprise, surprise. Usyk was considerably better than Bellew in every area of the fight. But the shocking moment came when Alexander stunned Tony badly on the feet, only to follow it up with a big knockout punch that sat his opponent down once and for all.
Closing this gap with real, middle of the good shot.
Not your stupid ass out. Cause you was talking.
I think he's gonna stop it. Alexander Usyk.
That nigga grabbing the ropes. I'm already over. You lost.
Sure, Usyk doesn't always find the finish, but the idea that a man his size doesn't have a KO blow was laughable at best. And this was a punch that proved Tony Bellew wrong in the most dramatic fashion possible.
Champion of the world from Ukraine, Alexander.
You see all them belts he got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 belts. This is why you don't talk shit. Now he a new champion. Took your belt. Added it onto his collection. Like, you should be crazy.
He think Ryan Garcia don't.
I already know about this dude. Get some trash.
Fighting good, fighting like that with him, the real fight. So he know he's the man over there. Ryan Garcia is a younger guy.
Y ahora he bebido mucho Gatorade, mucho suero. Ahora voy a comer, ya usted puede ver esa pasta que tengo ahí.
He said he eat lasagna yesterday, baked potato.
A lot of carbs.
Yeah, and he eat fruit, and he eat rat.
You can eat all the fruit and vegetables you want. You're still not gonna motherfucking be good enough that you think you is.
Consistent. with Gatorade and something like that. And now he gonna eat pasta with beef.
When the Dominican Republic fighter Braulio Rodriguez stepped in there with the...
He went against Ryan Garcia. Like, what made you think you were going to win?
Great Ryan Garcia, we got a chance to see King Ryan take out a fighter who was a little too confident for his own good coming in. At the time, Garcia was just 20 years old and building up experience before he eventually promoted himself into the upper tiers of his division. Braulio Rodriguez seemed determined to try and take the young fighter out of his element, telling the world via a translator that he believed Garcia was nervous.
He got an opportunity to see the video.
What did he think?
And he think Ryan Garcia is nervous.
And that in taking this fight, he'd bitten off more than he could chew. It wasn't a bad tactic either. If you're going to try and rattle a young prospect, going down this route is actually kind of smart, especially if they probably have a technical advantage over you. But what Braulio didn't realize was that Garcia wasn't cut from the same cloth. But while his own career was going to fizzle out, King Ryan was on his way to the big time, and no amount of trash talk or clowning around was going to change it. And when Garcia got going in there, Braulio's attempts to play games were rendered totally ineffective. Ryan was just several steps ahead of him, and his shots tended to land with much more of an impact.
Trying to get by that extended left hand, and he does. Right hand and a hook by Garcia. Rodriguez says he's lifted.
So, the eventual finish came. Ryan stunned his target and then had the finishing instincts to know that the ref was close to stopping it. So, Garcia pounced, landing a succession of hard shots to score the knockdown.
Experience at any time.
Hard right hand. Wow. How did he weather that? Another one. And a hook. And down he goes. Ron Lipton got to 10. You're supposed to count, and he did. That's it.
Great performance, Garcia.
And when the ref did start counting, he took a closer look at Rodriguez and decided enough was enough.
And it's over, and Garcia now 17-0 with 14 knockouts, and that was just fun to watch.
King Ryan Garcia!
So this is how it came about. I smoked Ryan Taylor in one punch, then I called out Deji in the...
Yeah, this is about Swarms calling out Deji. Like, Swarms, you can't fight. You're not a boxer. Literally, all this little shit talking that you doing, you couldn't be KSI. Damn sure couldn't be KSI. Then you tried to challenge Deji. Deji whooped your ass too. How many times you gonna get your ass?
I see him as an easy opponent. 4 fights, 1 win.
We now go to the world of YouTube boxing for another example of this channel of someone making the mistake of underestimating Deji, the brother of KSI.
You honestly think that Deji would not be training with KSI? You must be gullible with your motherfucking dumb. Oh, that's that Naruto, that hidden leaf. Oh, they got the keyboard. That shit look hard as hell.
Oh, nice little feint. Deji, 1-2, right to the body. You know KSI's watching his...
Sure, the dude had a pretty tough start to life in the boxing game, but overall, the way he moved on from those losses and eventually started to win is pretty admirable. But for this guy, Swarms, he seemed totally unfazed by it all, mocking Deji's attempts at head movement, while promising him that it would all fade away as soon as the going got tough in there.
Nice body shot.
Swarms seemed to have it all figured out. The charisma, the confidence, the entire package. But despite the fact he seemed to be winning the mental warfare game, Deji was actually very composed, taking a more playful approach, which contrasted well with his rival's bravado.
Look at Swarm's eyes.
demon in him. Deji looks like he has a better understanding of distance. It's pretty impressive right now. He's looking way better than before.
Deji's is very composed right now also. You can tell Deji has more experience.
He doesn't throw unless he knows he's going to land.
Swarms was adamant that this would be an easy fight for him, a cakewalk. But little did he know how he was about to get embarrassed on the big stage. And when you lose in the YouTube boxing world, it's almost guaranteed to go viral. Especially if it's against someone of Deji's immense popularity.
Deji is putting the pressure on Swarms here. Oh man, he got him in the corner. He's keeping it down. Little cheeky uppercut there.
Like, bro, stop hugging this nigga, bro. Tell me you was gonna beat him, now you hugging this nigga. Like, bro, what the fuck you got going on? Trash ass nigga.
If there was a lesson that Swarms should have learned right before signing to fight, it's that judging a book by its cover can be a dangerous game to play. On fight night, Swarms was proven wrong in the most shocking way. Not only was Deji showing himself to be the far superior technical boxer, mixing combos together with some real fluidity behind them.
Looks like Swarm is just surviving, to be fair. You dig what I'm saying? Deji looks like he's walking him down, he's breaking him down, he digs, but Swarms ain't quitting. He's looking a lot better than he did with Kansai.
Swarms needs to catch him in between those punches.
So he's gonna grab him also before the ref stops it. He's got to show something. The body shots get to him, he's starting to breathe hard.
But that head movement that Swarms was so persistent in making fun of, well, it was actually working really well.
I'm impressed with Deji though, man. He's putting a lot of pressure on Swarms. I'm not used to seeing Deji put this kind of pressure on his opponents like this.
Deji was ducking and dodging out of the way of many of Swarms' shots, making him look fairly silly in the process. In the end, Deji won a hard-fought and well-deserved victory.
So that's gonna do it. Beautiful. Amazing fight.
By unanimous decision, Deji! Yeah, sure. Tomorrow you're going down. Saturday, baby, you're going down. Deal. You're going down. Deal.
Man, you got the ball Caillou talking shit to Deontay Wilder, bro. Man, you easily gonna get your ass knocked out. He gonna smack the top of your dome and your ass is gonna fall down like a bag of rocks.
Deal. Let's
Nigga look like Baron Corbin. Nigga look like Baron Corbin.
This is how AG1 works to upgrade your health routine. By combining
Oh, I got his dumb ass knocked the fuck out in the first round. Stupid ass nigga. All that shit talking just to get in his face. Go ahead and knocked out. Sleep. With arms laid out like this. Ain't no getting up from that nigga.
Yet another idiot who decided to try and trash talk Deontay Wilder comes in next, and boy did the Bronze Bomber have a few run-ins like this one. In this case, Artur Szpilka was the one guy who got a little too close for comfort to this hard-hitting heavyweight monster.
Szpilka, and he comes back and lands a right hand and just missed another one. Wilder does get that one home.
Wilder's a guy who generally tries to take the high ground when it comes to energy, unless he's opposite someone like Tyson Fury and he needs to step things up. But in the case of Artur Szpilka, Wilder just needed to sit there and let this dude sell the fight because, based on what we know now, this guy was bringing way too much aggression and confidence to the table.
Something that Wilder, because of his height, a stinging right hand, but Szpilka takes it and stays in the pocket. Now Wilder.
Sure, he was a good fighter, but his 20-1 run wasn't exactly setting the world on fire. And Wilder, at that point in time, had KO'd 34 of his 35 opponents and was riding an unbeaten winning streak since turning pro. Szpilka, to put it simply, was in over his head, and he didn't even seem to realize it.
With all these boxes with goddamn birds on each chest. That's the real definition of bird chest, bitch. The fuck? What do you think you is? Some type of crow? Some type of hawk? Some type of eagle? Bitch. So his nickname should have been Bald Eagle. Because that's what he looked like.
At the time.
Sol köşe. Damlaya damlaya göl olur misali. Bu direkt yumruklarla geçiniyor şu anda Wilder. İşte bakın.
It would take a far more unignorable sign for the message to sink in, and luckily, Deontay Wilder is an absolute master when it comes to delivering swift and merciless justice. Szpilka had his moments in there, but as Wilder himself has very accurately said, he only needs to be perfect for one split second. And though Szpilka landed some decent shots, Wilder took his moment of magic and knocked his opponent out with it. And with that, Wilder moved to 36-0, a stellar record of pure violence that would not be interrupted until he eventually fought a returning Tyson Fury a few years later. And we all know what happened when that fight went down.
Big shot comes. Well, the reason why they...
I ain't even gonna lie to you. I don't even like Tyson Fury. Like, he just too cocky. Like, somebody just need to knock his ass out. Like, no funny shit. Hopefully Deontay Wilder will get his third rematch or something. Because eventually I know Deontay Wilder or Anthony Joshua gonna knock this nigga Tyson Fury out. Like, you only big for so much, my nigga. Like, watch. The bigger you are, the harder you fall, my nigga.
React.
When I was doing the backyard really gonna tell these people I told you this. That, and you gave me a call and you
The fuck wrong with your head, boy? That bitch look like a goddamn octagon, bitch. He got shapes in his head, then he got a red patch. Looking like the Road Warriors. The fuck? Mr. T built ass.
say, hey, listen, when
Then you got on black nails like you emo. Bitch. Who you trying to be, Doja Cat?
arms reach of each other. I never ran from nobody. I never been scared of nobody. That's just the difference. You know what I'm saying? See, you could talk because that right there is what you know best. But see, you can't put two and two together to come up with nothing good for yourself, let alone for somebody else. Come Friday night, you just bring that drama.
Over there, listen to this
you bring that drama that you spoke of.
You know my daughter's listening to this shit.
Just bring that drama. I'm
you're
talking
proving
to you,
the
bro.
world that you're a liar.
I'm
You do know that, right?
You bring that drama that you spoke of. You did that. Okay. I don't gotta lie.
What was that, Kimbo? Yeah. Kimbo gonna knock his ass out for real, for real. Kimbo is a hard street fighter. And that nigga across the ramp, he just a fucking boxer, like, bruh. UFC fighter, like, bruh, you gonna get your ass knocked the fuck out.
Here's one thing you need to do before you buy anything online. Don't spend another dime on Amazon until you watch
Bro,
this.
I be tired of this.
Watch
damn
this.
app. Bro,
I can show you how to get this.
Screen. Saw that nigga got knocked out, turned around, and then stumbled on the ground.
Look, it's hard to call anyone a winner in this infamous fight between Kimbo Slice and Dada 5000, a pair of street fighters who eventually brought their feud to the MMA cage. At this point in time, Kimbo was by far the more experienced mixed martial artist. But in the lead up to this Bellator matchup, Dada was really laying into Kimbo with the trash talk, accusing him of running from a past fight they could have had while taking shots at his abilities on the mic.
The only thing you can control when you're training
Data promised his opponent and the world that this fight would not be a competitive one. And you know what? He was actually right in a weird, backwards kind of way. If you know anything about Bellator back in the days, freak show fights like this were commonplace. I mean, they had 52-year-old Shamrock taking on 49-year-old Hoyce Gracie in the main event.
Now to stand up. He steps in front of Kimbo, can't even get his hands up anymore. Kimbo gets out of his way, he's going to fall.
But it would be this fight between Slice and Data that would forever go down in history as maybe the single worst mixed martial arts bout to ever take place on a televised broadcast. These two guys swung for the bleachers and then totally gassed out, leading to one of the sloppiest fights imaginable. By a certain point in the bout, it was less about who had the power to knock the other out, but more about who could physically remain standing without exhaustion taking them.
Hold on, what the?
Without exhaustion taking them.
There was a bug on my screen for a second. What the fuck?
He's eating a couple of big lefts. Now he's in some trouble.
And sure enough, Data was the first one to drop, falling to the canvas with total exhaustion to leave Kimbo as the winner. Of course, this fight was also remembered for the fact that Kimbo passed away not long after the fight.
Damn. It was after this fight that Kimbo actually passed away. But he ain't passed away to none of this, which I think it is. Like, I forgot what it was. I think it was a heart attack or something. Or like something, some complications or something.
Health issues stopped Data from ever competing again.
He steps in front of Kimbo.
Stopped Data from ever passed away not long after the fight. And health issues stopped Data from ever competing again.
He steps in front of Kimbo, can't even get his hands up anymore. Kimbo gets out of his way, he's going to fall. Data has no idea where he is.
As y'all know, that's the end of this video. You know, like, comment, subscribe, turn them post notification bells on so your favorite YouTuber don't miss when you buy. It's finna drop. Kids again, stand up. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. On there to my age. Oh. But yeah, nigga out of here. Feel me?